3 times, out of 11. Since 1982, being the favorite going into a World Cup is almost a curse. And yet, right now, every prediction video, every pundit, every algorithm is pointing at Spain, France, or Brazil and saying, "That's your winner." They might be right, but history says, probably not. Today, I want to show you why. Not just the pattern, but the reason, the psychological, tactical, and structural forces that keep eating World Cup favorites alive. And then I want to apply all of it to 2026. Let's start with the data, because this isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a statistical pattern that nobody is really talking about. Since 1982, the team ranked number 1 going into the tournament and won it all just 3 times. Brazil in 1994, France in 1998, Spain in 2010. That's it, 3 out of 11. The other 8 times? The favorite was knocked out before the final. Sometimes in the group stage, sometimes in a quarter-final no one saw coming. 1982, Brazil, with Socrates, Zico and Falcao, probably one of the most talented squads ever assembled, lost to Italy in the second round. 1998, Brazil again. Heavy favorites, Ronaldo at his peak. They made the final and then completely fell apart after Ronaldo had a mysterious seizure the night before the match. 2002, France, reigning world champions, reigning European champions. Zinedine Zidane arguably playing the best football of his life. They were knocked out in the group stage, 0 goals scored, beaten by Senegal. 2006, Brazil. Again, 2014, Brazil as hosts. You know what happened? 7 goals to 1, in their own country, in front of their own people. 2022, Brazil and France, joint favorites, not winning the World Cup. This is not bad luck. There is a reason this keeps happening, and once you understand it, it changes how you watch the entire tournament. Let's look at France in 2002 in detail, because it's the most extreme version of this story. France had Zidane, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, David Trezeguet. That squad, on paper, could compete with any team in history. But here's what happened going in. Zidane picked up a thigh injury in a warm-up match. He played anyway, because the team felt they couldn't afford to rest him. He was clearly not fit. Henry came in out of form. The squad had barely trained together, but none of that was the real problem. The real problem was expectation. France didn't just enter that tournament as favorites. They entered as the defending world champions who had also won the Euros in 2000. They were supposed to win. It was treated like a formality. That mental weight, the burden of inevitability, is one of the most dangerous forces in elite sport. Now, in 2014 World Cup, Brazil had home advantage, passionate fans, enormous squad depth. They were favored, but then Neymar got injured in the quarterfinals, and Thiago Silva got suspended. And suddenly, the emotional scaffolding of the entire team collapsed. The 7-1 defeat to Germany is remembered as a shocking scoreline, but watch that match back. Brazil didn't just lose tactically, they stopped functioning. Players were crying on the pitch before halftime. They had been carrying the psychological weight of an entire nation for months, and when 2 key pillars were removed, there was nothing holding it together. That's not a football collapse, that's a human collapse. And then 2022, we got the bizarre situation where the joint favorites did not win the World Cup title. Brazil was beaten by Croatia on penalties, after Neymar scored what looked like a match winner. France was beaten by Argentina in possibly the greatest World Cup final ever played, coming back from 2 goals down, only to lose in penalties. Both teams had the squad. Both teams had the manager. Both teams had history. And both came up short. So, why does this keep happening? I want to give you 4 reasons, real ones, backed by psychology and sports science. Reason 1. The burden of expectation. There's a concept in sports psychology called choking under pressure. It's well documented. When the stakes feel too high, when failure feels catastrophic, the conscious mind starts to override the automatic muscle memory that makes elite athletes perform at their best. For World Cup favorites, this is almost structurally unavoidable. They arrive as the one to beat. Every press conference, every training session, Every post on social media reinforces one message: you are supposed to win this. And that word, supposed to, is poison for performance. For underdogs, the psychology flips completely. No one expects them to win. There's no pressure. Every positive result feels like a bonus. And that freedom? That's a performance enhancer. Reason 2. Opponents study you completely. Think about it from the other side. If you're a lower-ranked team preparing for 3 weeks to play Brazil or France, you're not just preparing, you're obsessing. You've watched every match, you've clipped every pattern. You know their press triggers, their set-piece routines, their preferred foot on every single player. The favorite hasn't done the same for you. They're preparing generically, because they're also preparing for whoever comes after you. This gives underdogs a tactical asymmetry. They know exactly what they're walking into. The favorite doesn't. Reason 3. The tournament format amplifies variance. A league season over 38 games, the best team usually wins. The math smooths out, but a World Cup knockout tournament, one bad day, one red card, one deflected cross in the 89th minute, and you're done. At any given World Cup, the pre-tournament favorite has roughly a 15 to 20% chance of winning, even when they're genuinely the best team. Because in a knockout tournament, being the best team doesn't mean much if variance goes against you on the one day that matters. Spain winning in 2010 World Cup wasn't just because they were the best team. It's because they were also consistent. But even Spain had a 1-0 loss to Switzerland in the group stage match. Reason 4. Overconfidence makes you predictable. Favorites tend to play their game. They have an identity, a system, a way of playing that brought them success. The problem? Everyone knows what that system looks like, and knowing what's coming gives defenders a massive advantage. Underdogs have nothing to lose from experimentation. Saudi Arabia's high defensive line against Argentina in 2022 was a tactical gamble nobody expected, and it worked perfectly, at least for 90 minutes. Now let's apply all of this to 2026 World Cup, because this is a particularly interesting tournament for the favorites' curse. Right now, Spain and France are joint favorites, at roughly 15 to 16% each on prediction markets. Argentina, England, Brazil, and Portugal follow close behind. This is an unusually spread-out field, no single dominant favorite. But here's what I want you to notice. Spain, France, England, and Brazil are all carrying exactly the kind of narrative weight that history says is dangerous. Spain are reigning Euros champions, defending that crown, defending that identity. France have been so close, so many times, Euro final, World Cup final, that winning has started to feel like a debt they're owed. That's dangerous thinking. England are carrying 60 years of hurt into a tournament with a massive English expat fanbase. That pressure is enormous. Brazil are Brazil. Need I say more? And finally, Argentina. Retaining the World Cup? Very few did that. Here's something else most prediction videos aren't talking about. 2026 is the first World Cup with 48 teams, and that actually creates a trap for favorites. Why? Because comfortable group stage games breed complacency. Teams rotate heavily, rhythm is broken, players who needed minutes don't get them. And then suddenly you're in a round of 32, then round of 16 knockout matches. Cold, against a team that's been fighting for their lives in every single game. The increased variance doesn't just help underdogs, it actively threatens favorites. So who does the curse favor? If the pattern is real, and I believe it is, then we should be looking for teams that carry no historical expectation, that have a clear, disciplined, tactical identity that's hard to prepare for, that have a settled squad with rhythm, and that are flying slightly under the radar. By that logic, the teams worth watching are Portugal. The Ronaldo era has lifted, and this squad is playing with a freedom they haven't had in years. Germany, rebuilt from the ground up, motivated, with nothing to prove and everything to gain. And Morocco, who showed in 2022 that psychological unity alone can take a team to the semi-finals against all odds. So here's where I land. I'm not saying Spain can't win, or France, or Argentina. They're incredible teams with the squad depth and tactical sophistication to go all the way. But if you're asking me who I think will win the 2026 World Cup, based on the data, the psychology, the history, and the unique pressures of this tournament, I'm picking Portugal. This is my prediction. Tell me yours in the comments. Here's why. They have the squad quality to compete with anyone. They have Ruben Neves, Vitinha, Pedro Neto, a generation of players who are hungry, mobile, and tactically flexible. And crucially, for the first time in years, they are not carrying the weight of one man's legacy. The Ronaldo era is not over yet, but team can now play with more freedom, and that freedom might be exactly what this curse requires. They carry enough pedigree to go deep, but not enough expectation to choke. That's the sweet spot. That's where World Cup winners come from. The favorite curse isn't magic. It's math. It's psychology. And it's been running for 4 decades. In 2026, I don't see it stopping. Finally, if this video changed how you're thinking about the World Cup, even a little, let me know in the comments. Who do you think wins 2026? And more importantly, are you going with the favorite or are you betting against the curse? Subscribe to my channel if you want the rest of my Football World Cup series. I'm going deep on the unknown way of thinking about the World Cup and will bring some unforgettable memories through the videos. Thanks for watching.